The reason why your hair isn't growing back is because you threw your hair follicles into a state of shock. Shock? Yes, shock. You do not want to miss today's video. Let's jump right into it. Welcome back to 2020 Clarity, hair growth on the go. If you are new here, hi, hello, welcome. My name is Talitha, aka the Natural Hair Confidant, and on this channel, I like to teach all the tips, tricks, and techniques you need to be able to reverse your traction alopecia, get some new growth in them bald spots, and never ever let it happen again. So if that interests you, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and right next to it, make sure you hit that post bell notification so you do not miss a video where I'm giving you all of the tips and tricks you need to reverse your traction alopecia ASAP. So how in the hell do I throw my hair into a state of shock? Through trauma. What exactly do you mean? So I'm sure if you've been following me for a minute, you guys have seen this video. But for some of you that are new here, let me share this video with you because as you all know, I am a registered nurse. And as registered nurses, we all got docs that we trust and don't trust. Ask your nursing friends, they'll tell you. And these are two doctors that I just so happen to trust. So I value their opinion. So let me let the experts give you a little bit more insight into exactly what I mean.
Movement on the scalp, so this will really help create a minimum scar for Mike. If everything goes as well as it should, hair follicles should grow through whatever little scar that he has.
Look at how well it's coming together with nothing. Nothing. There's no tension here. Tension is what kills hair. I'm very optimistic for Mike's surgery. But you never know. One of the things you worry about when you do a scar revision is that you can get shock loss, which is basically a wide area of hair falling out for about 6 to 8 months. This can happen even when you do everything perfectly, and Michael needs to understand that.
Tension is what kills hair, meaning you have traction alopecia is caused by putting constant tension on your hair follicle, which then causes your hair follicle to release the hair. It breaks it off. Now, as you all know, if you yank and pull anything out of its socket, which your hair follicle is a little pocket, it's a little socket, you know, if you pull your hair follicles out of it consistently enough, do you think that maybe it could have received some trauma? And then you did it in such a wide area. It wasn't one, it wasn't two. I mean, just think about how many hair follicles you have in one area, and that entire area is missing. It was as if, imagine if your head was a neighborhood and a tornado came through and knocked out about 50 houses in that neighborhood. That'll be significant. That's exactly what you did with your scalp. Although it doesn't feel traumatic because there was no associated pain with it. You didn't have any bleed. Well, there was pain because when we pulling them damn hairstyles tight, you can feel it. But you look super cute though. But still, you can feel it. So there was pain, but it wasn't significant pain like as if you was to break your arm or break your leg. So there's no immediate pain. There's no immediate gushing of blood. So you don't look at it as trauma. But nonetheless, your hair follicles still received some form of trauma. And when it received that form of trauma, there was no healing. You did not help it heal from the inside out. You focused on healing it from the outside by buying whatever hair growth product you've been buying and slapping it on there. And so your hair ended up going into a state of shock loss. Shock loss is when you have widespread hair loss resulting from a trauma. It's really common when people have like surgical incisions. Like this guy, I think he was getting like some kind of balloon thing in his head to do something or something. But when you get hair transplant, the same exact things can happen. And what are they doing during hair transplant? They are inserting hair into different follicles. They putting the hair in, and it can still cause trauma because your hair follicle is delicate. It's not supposed to be altered. You know, it's not supposed to be yanked. It's just supposed to be allowed to function. It's supposed to be allowed to sleep and wake during its normal body cycle, its normal rhythmic cycle with your body. It's not supposed to be altered. It's just supposed to be giving enough nutrients and love in order to do whatever it is that it needs to do without any assistance. It's kind of like breathing. Your hair follicles work like your lung. You don't have to tell it to work. It's going to do its job all the time. So if you can grow hair through a scar, why can't you grow hair out when you don't have it? So it's technically not that you can't grow hair without the scar. What it really is you're not using the right tips, tricks, and techniques in order to heal that hair follicle and get it to grow a new strand. So when something has gone through trauma, it needs the proper things to heal. So if I was to yank my leg, knee, hip, whatever joint out of a socket, then I would need to have surgery to put it back in. I would need to get it popped back in place. Then I would need to do things to it to decrease the inflammation. After every traumatic event in your body, there is some type of inflammatory response. That is your body's natural way, natural defenses, in trying to repair itself. Now, with hair follicles are not looked at as an essential part of you living. And so when something happens to it, what the body tends to do, it tends to send less blood to it. It saves that blood for other places that need it. And so with decreased blood circulation after trauma, after an inflammatory response, you have to re-jump start it. You have to basically put it through physical therapy as if it was a broken joint. You got to nurture it. You got to get it back working. So the number one thing that you can do is you can start with a free scalp massage. Scalp massages increases blood circulation by like 50%. And then while you're doing the scalp massages, you don't want to put any stress, additional tension, or anything on that area. You want to just let it be. You want to let it build up, rebuild its strength within itself by increasing the blood circulation. Now, this is only going to be effective if your blood is full of good nutrients. If you eating pork and fatback and hog maw and anything else, and you know what your diet is like. So if your diet isn't good, your blood isn't going to be good. So the blood that you're rushing to it, you got to make sure it's healthy and nutrient. Unless you got your love in a bottle, then you know you Gucci. So I hope you found this video helpful. I hope it gave you all the clarity you need to understand why after you initially had traction alopecia, your hair loss worsened like by 1,000,000%. And what was happening and what you can do to immediately try to start reversing it the free way. If you liked it, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you know somebody that can benefit from it, make sure you share it on all social media platforms and tag me, The Natural Hair Confidant, or either at My Hair Confidant. If you're looking for more in-depth tips and tricks that can help you reverse your traction alopecia, make sure you head over to my website, growmyedges.com. Scroll down, click on free hair growth blueprint, and get your free hair growth blueprint. That helps you turn these YouTube tips into actual techniques that you can use to reverse your traction alopecia. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Until the next time, I wish y'all the most growth. Take care.